Okay, I've gone all the way across with my half double. Now I'm going to chain one, turn, and then I'm just going to do a single crochet all the way across. Okay, and then once I'm across this row with just a row of single crochet, what I'm going to do by finishing it off is give it the different edge look, and I love doing it. It's either it's classified as the crab stitch or the reverse stitch. Never understood the crab stitch, but I understand it as far as the reverse stitch because you're actually going backwards. So and it always gives such an adorable finish and look on any project. So that's going to be my trim for the flap. And this right here is what I'm talking about, the finishing edge. You see how it looks like it's just rolled across the top? So that's what I'm going to do here. So now I'm going to chain one and go up. Actually, I'm not going to chain one, sorry. Just stay where you are. Now we're going to work the crab stitch. So you're going to take your hook, and you see this stitch here? You're just going to twist it, and you're going to go backwards, and you're going to go into that stitch backwards. Grab your yarn, pull up, yarn over, and pull through. So it's almost like I would classify as doing a backward single crochet. And then you're just going to go back into the next one, grab your yarn and pull it through, yarn over, pull through both. And that's your crab stitch, and I do have a video on that if you need more practice with it. It's funny because when I first tried this stitch, I just couldn't get it. I tried and tried and tried for half a day. I couldn't get it. And then one day I just said, I'm going to do a crab stitch. I was like, that's easy to do. So then I went, followed a video, seen it, and done it the first time. That just made no sense to me. I was like, as long as I tried to do that in that one day, and then I come up and learn it the first time I watched it on a different day, couldn't figure that one out. It's just a little bit tricky though. You have to make sure that you get all the twists about the same to make it look consistent all the way across. And with these sugar and cream yarns, the yarn gets to be a little tight. So if you see me kind of struggling with pulling it through, you know how they get sometimes. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to turn this over, measure it, make sure it's as long as you want it to be, and mine is. So now I'm going to cut myself off from that yarn. You're going to yarn over and pull that through, and we'll finish that off here in a bit. So now what you want to do is you want to take your yarn and then I'm going to show you how to seam up the bottom. Alright guys, so now you're going to need a couple different needles. I really love working with the larger ones. My eyesight is not as good as it used to be, so until I get my glasses I'm going to have to use the ones with the big eyes. I'm going to need one for my button, which is this one. And then this one I cut me about a yay long, it's about twice as long as my crochet hook, piece of the yarn that I was working with, and we're going to thread this up, provided I could see this big eye. Obviously I can't see that to get it threaded either. Alright, I have better luck with the other side. Thread that up, and then what you're going to do is flip this up on the side. Let's see if I can zoom in a bit. And then you're just going to take these free loops here, and you're just going to seam those shut. Leave you a little tail so you can tie that knot off at the end. It always gives you some extra security there. Okay. Then you're just going to go all the way across, and just getting those top loops there is way more than enough to hold this closed. So you just seam all the way across. And you could do this with a crochet hook also, but I would not recommend it. It will leave a rather large seam there. So once you get all the way across here, You go into the very last. Okay. And that's all you do there. So then I'll take this out and I will tie a knot to the end of this. That's going to secure that right there. Pull it all the way down. Okay. And then what I'll usually do is thread this back through, provided I can do it. There we go. Sorry about that. And then I just go all the way underneath here, in and out a little bit, and I'll secure that in. Okay. Then you'll trim it. And now I'll trim up my ends. I'll be right back. We'll put the button on. Alright guys, before we do the button, we're going to do the strap. So what you want to do is put your yarn on your hook with a slip stitch or slip knot. And you want to go down. You don't want to attach it to that very first space, because you want to give yourself enough of an area here to make it secure. So I'll usually go down to about the second one. And I'll pull it through, and I will actually do a single crochet right here, provided I can get it through there. Okay, and then now what I'll do is I'll turn it around and I'll do another single crochet in the same space. Okay, that gives it a lot of extra support. And when you're carrying some of these heavy phones, you want to make sure you have it supportive. So then you're going to chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And this is up to you, however long you want your little handle. Fold that down and you can measure it. So 15 chains is going to give you something about that long. I usually go between 22 and 25. So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, so that's about the average. By the time that you hook that on, this is going to be about the size that you're going to get. Okay, so I'm going to stick with 22. So then what you'll do is turn this over, and you'll go in the same section, 2 down here below, 2 stitches below, and you'll do a single crochet. Then you'll turn and go back in the same, try not to get my yarn mixed up here. You'll go in the same stitch for another single crochet. And again, it just gives you double the security for holding it. Now you can work this part in a single crochet and a double crochet, a half double. I'll work it in a half double, so then I'm going to go in each stitch across. And you can do this again, depends on how thick you want your strap. But for this one, I'm just going to do this one time across. Go all the way to the end. Okay, so I'm all the way across, and yeah, you heard Candy. She's over here whining this morning because I won't let her knock my buttons all over the kitchen floor. Okay, so I got all the way to the end. Now what I'm going to do is come all the way back down in that hole that we were in, and then I'm just going to pull through for a slip stitch. And that attaches that nice and clean there for you. Okay, and what you're going to do is fasten off, yarn over, pull that through there. Okay, and you see you should have both of your strands that ended up at the same place. What I usually do is insert my hook from the back, and I'll pull that closer to the next one, and then I'll just end up tying those two together. That way that secures it a little bit, and then I'll weave those ends in just a minute. So now what you want to take is, I buy my threading yarn in large quantities because I find the little ones like this just don't last very long. So I just end up buying them in these larger quantities. Now you want to make sure to cut yourself a decent amount. Grab your needle. Then you're going to place your button wherever you want that to be. So depending on how far down you want it to come, I want mine about right there because it's going to slide in this hole right here. Okay, So basically that means that it's going to have to come about right here. You just find the place for your button, and then you just start sewing it in there. Very simple process. Make sure you leave you an adequate amount in the back so that you can tie off together, give it some extra security. I'm all about making sure that things are tied very well to each other, because with all the work you do not want it coming out due to not tightening in something well. Okay, my yarn just come out of my needle. So anyway, you get the picture. Okay, so you finish doing your button here, and once you've completed that, you will have what is going to look like this. So you see, it's almost the same size, just a little bigger. But like I say, this is the in-between size that I just did here. You see, that's the in-between size. A little bit bigger than this one, a little bit smaller than this one. So that's good. Now I have another variety. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful. And I know it's a simple project, but sometimes we overthink our projects, and I like to do projects on my videos that try to help you get experience with what you're doing, and also explaining to you that crochet doesn't have to be so technical. At least that's my opinion. I try to make it more fun and relaxing and not as stressful. So I hope that's what you get out of my videos. So until next time, guys, I will see you for next Wednesday's weekly Pattern Wednesday. And I hope you enjoyed the pattern for this Wednesday. So happy hooking. Enjoy your weekend, everybody.